Namaskar. This is one of the boldest things which we do during the exams, because a lot of emphasis goes on maintaining the confidence of the students in general. But what we believe is competence is far more important than confidence. Yes, we do go through intense cycles to ensure to revise everything. Now at this junction, with a few hours left before the exam, they have done, both Kushal and Sarthak have done their revision properly, and now is the time for them to give the reality strike. We made them write a 2-hour exam, and these are the mistakes they have made. Again, you can always question us, why are we talking about mistakes now? But if some mistakes are being made few hours or one day before the exam, there is a possibility that these mistakes can be repeated tomorrow also. So that is the reason why we are giving them the context, not to worry about marks, everything is fine, but let's avoid few more mistakes. A lot of mistakes got corrected in the process. So this is exactly what we are looking at, and I really appreciate both Sarthak and Kushal for being open to this, because we clearly asked them, do you want to be open to this, or do you want to protect the contents the way it is? So I appreciate their guts to have this conversation at this point of time. So CA Harinath has evaluated Sarthak's question answer sheet. So Hari, what are the common mistakes which are repeated in all the questions, and what are the specific mistakes that Sarthak has to work upon? I've seen the paper overall, yes, you will be in a position to clear, but still we want to avoid as many mistakes as possible. Yes, we can start explaining that to Sarthak.
The other mistake which he made is he's writing some answers in margin. The margin.
Okay.
Presentation wise, it is more setback.
Right. So margin should not be used for anything except writing a question number. One important thing, margin use it only for question number, nothing else. Good. Next.
And then in total computation, computation of total income.
You can show us. Yeah.
So he made a disallowance of income under PGPP, but he forgot to make them taxable under income from other sources. Like he disallowed here incomes whichever need to be computed under income from other source, but he forgot to make them computed under income from other sources. And also here, while taking the deductions, he misrepresented the section. In place of 80 he put 80C. So it is a main thing. And also clubbing provisions. He wrote the provision well, but he didn't apply it on the solution.
Right.
As well, and the set up a carry forward. Actually, he has to disallow the setup of some loss, word for word loss in the previous year. Erroneously, he put it as a setup. Actually, the time gap will be there.
Right.
For setup of the losses. 8 assessment years should be relevant assessment year. But he wrongly set it up from the income. So these are the general normal mistakes here. Also, in case of tedious mandatory filing of returns, he forgot the limits which were need to be taken into consideration for filing of returns.
Right.
So instead of 50,000, he assumed it to be 25,000, and for 150 BAC, the federal exemption limit, he also misinterpreted it to be 250,000 and 3 lakh. So in that case, he is making.
So largely it's the limits and sections. If I have to look at it. Excuse me. So Sarthak, I hope you understand, because there is some level of confusion. I think these are common mistakes. That is the reason why people don't get 100, people get 50. But then if you get an perspective on where you are making mistakes, you have to pay attention. It's just that you have to pay enhanced attention, otherwise we can clear the exam. Okay, this is clear. Kushal, I hope you are also able to take note of these mistakes. Cool. So you can have a quick look and restart your preparation. You can go ahead.
So firstly, in case of Kushal, he done PGPP computation well, and other heads also well, but he's gone wrong at tax liability computation.
Right.
So for special rates, he has to take them, but he didn't took intake and as well as this special student provision. There is an exemption for long-term calculation.
Right.
So there also he gone. So that need to be filled up. Means he has to particularly specifically do few sums in solving only tax liability calculation. So that he will get to know how to solve the tax liability, how to compute the tax liability. And in case of residence provisions, he got confused between non-ordinary resident and ordinary resident. For ordinary resident, he has to take all the income of the whole world. So, but he took it which was received into India only. So that he too means he might have confused over there while doing that. And in case of TDS provisions, he confused between 194I and 194IB.
Right.
This interest on rental immovable property. So that has to means the TDS provisions were a bit confusing.
Right. Normally they are confused.
Yeah. So this confusion part need to be solved. And both in case of Sarthak and Pushpa also is clubbing and as well as separation about problem. So that they have to do.
So the way we have done for Fun, right? So make sure they go through all the adjustments and all, even for Ariba, make sure they spend at least 1-2 hours tomorrow only through the sections, because they should be able to differentiate between section X and section Y. That is the most important. That is where they are going wrong. Otherwise, in terms of presentation and all, it's fine. And also you have to understand our evaluation is far more critical than what ICA does, because we want you to pay more attention. You should not get carried away. There is no harm in paying more attention than less attention. So when you see this, you'll be understanding that okay, I have to take care of this also, I have to take care of this also. So that is why these are done. And the approach towards our exams are mistakes, not marks. Please understand, do not get carried away with marks at any point of time, except the only marks that matter are the marks in the mark sheet. Until then, marks do not matter even one day before the exam. What are the mistakes you are making? Can you avoid those mistakes tomorrow? I hope you also took cognizance of just mistakes, and this is exactly what has to be understood. And over and above this, Manju has evaluated Ariba's paper, so Manju, I want you to give your insights on those also.
Just like them, even she has a problem with set-off and carry forward of losses. And also the difference between section 80C and 80EE. At one point, she has not done the tax liability calculation. She must have missed it. And again, there's a little confusion regarding TDS, the rate. She mentioned the sections correctly, however, the rate she got confused with. And yeah, GST, she's in case of like input tax credit, there she's made a mistake of taking SGST and CGST first rather than IGST credit. So these are the mistakes that have observed.
So overall, Hari, so what the takeaway from this process is, make sure they go through all the provisions, especially the section and provision. So all of them are available, and also they go through the index, the whole index and section provision, and repetitive mistakes and adjustments. Okay, as long as they avoid these mistakes, they'll be able to solve 1-2 marks per question. That is the difference between 37 and 45. Okay, that is exactly what has to be done clearly. And I guess except this, the rest of the things are sorted. Okay, alright. So if you're watching this video, please pay special attention to the mistakes which you already discussed and avoid these mistakes so that you can clear for sure. Thank you, Hari. Thank you, Manju.